All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we are live. It's Cantina Cocktail Hour Friday night. We're here. We've got I got a drink. I think Tim has a drink here. I'm
I
very
have a drink.
excited.
I got a drink. It's my
There
second
we
one,
go.
so
So I'm on my first. I gotta catch up. I'm the West Coast. You're a couple hours ahead. I gotta catch
yeah,
up here.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, good stuff. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hello, everybody hanging out with us. I'm super stoked because it's been a minute, Tim, since we've done one of these.
Yeah, I actually hasn't been. I think it's been like a month, so it hasn't been too long, but definitely a lot has happened since then, especially for Jurassic toys, just in the past 24 hours. So, very excited to get on and talk today.
Totally. So thank you for being here. Always a pleasure to chat with you. And no matter what the capacity is, podcasting, live streaming, just whatever. It's always fun.
For sure, definitely. This is like our Collect Jurassic World podcast holdover, basically, these occasional Collect Jurassic Cantina hours. So very much enjoy it.
Totally. And yeah, so we'll just shoot down the elephant in the room really quick before we get into maybe a little bit more later. So Tim, you've had quite a week.
Yeah, definitely. I've had I guess tomorrow it'll have been a week since I woke up Saturday morning and checked my email to see that my Instagram account was deactivated due to, what did it say? Repeated violations of copyright. And it was like, the best, funniest part was that it was like you continually violate someone else's rights. When I think of like violating someone's rights, I think of something a little more serious than posting toy pictures. But yeah, it didn't say like what the post was, who it was from, anything like that. I had an idea what it was because the night before I had posted a review of some Dominion figures that I legitimately, Jurassic World Dominion figures I legitimately purchased. They're just off camera right here. I'm looking at them, but forbid I get them on camera and get your video taken down. So I won't pull them up.
No.
Yeah. Just shut them down. Just pull plug. New guest. No. So I knew it was probably something to do with that. And then my YouTube account got a flag. Long story short, I definitely went on social media and was like, "Aw," and everyone was, everyone was rightfully disappointed, and then it kind of turned into a little bit more than that of kind of rallying around me and this other person, Andy, who runs Andy's Dinosaur Review YouTube channel. He doesn't even just do Jurassic; he does like all dinosaurs.
Everything.
Like he occasionally does Jurassic. But he does these news segments where he shows, like any of us, shows pictures of toy listings on the internet. And he happened to show these very listings that I bought the toys from on a website called ToyWiz. So he got a bunch of copyright strikes. His channel was deactivated or scheduled to deactivate it. But as of right now, I think, he's in the clear. It's just kind of waiting. I guess I'm jumping ahead. And then, I think all week we were on social media kind of making a big deal about it. And you, Victoria, came up with the genius hashtag, I stand with Collect Jurassic. That was great. Definitely caught fire. A lot of support everywhere. And I can't say that the situation would have been fixed without that. I really can't. But yeah, without getting into the whole behind the scenes of it, Universal really went out of their way to help me. Universal Pictures, who makes Jurassic, they were super responsive. Within the first day, they were like, we'll look into this. And they worked on getting those copyright strikes revoked, who were claimed by Mattel. And then, I finally got my Instagram account back on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday evening. But Andy still doesn't have his YouTube account fully cleared. He has the copyright strikes off, but it's still telling him he can't post videos. So I'm sure in the next 24 hours, it'll get fixed. But I don't want to drone on and on and on. You can ask me questions if you'd like, because I know this should be a two-way conversation. But it was rough. I'm trying to be positive about it, but it was definitely a rough few days.
It was, and I was devastated, not just for you, but just for the whole community, just at the idea that, it could just be a loss, your whole account. And I mean, it's no secret that Collect Jurassic has been immense for the Jurassic World collecting community. You've done so much, maintaining your website, keeping on top of the news, taking the hit for a lot of people by ordering stuff so that they could get a preview of it before
Yeah.
anybody else.
The ugly toys.
Um,
Yeah.
it's done a lot, and the YouTube channel, and I mean, so it was really disheartening to hear that could have been something that would have been permanent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but
And
like you were saying, I'm really proud that the community rallied around you and was able
yeah.
to help push for a better outcome. And
Yeah.
thankfully,
It could have been bad because some people were like, "Oh, just start a new YouTube or start a new Instagram, whatever." But Instagram is kind of like my baby. That's where Collect Jurassic started. Before there was a website, before there was anything else, there was my Instagram. And I know some people are like, I don't want to lose my followers, but I really didn't want to lose my followers. I mean, I worked really hard on my audience, and everyone's super engaged on my channel. I mean, you see accounts that have 4 times as many followers as me, but people aren't engaged. But like my Instagram is very engaged. Lots of
yeah,
everyone who follows me actually likes my photos and comments, and it's fun. And starting that over and kind of knowing I have to start over because the toy company I'm supporting shut down my account, it wasn't going to happen. So I'm glad that uh, clearer heads prevailed and it was put back
sure.
on, because I was not about to just like start Collect Jurassic _ 2022 and pick up where I
Right.
left off. I
Yeah.
was not going to do that.
Yeah. No, I'm glad it all worked out. And, I'm really happy for you. And that there was, some awesome news. So, congrats that it was resolved. I mean, it shouldn't have been a situation to begin with, but,
Right.
if it was, at
Yeah,
least, you had the outcome that you did. So that's the
for sure.
important
And
thing.
I also think a lot of these YouTubers who made videos about it were important too, because it really wasn't about like, oh, the Jurassic community is going to be like without these 2 accounts that cover them. It was bigger than that. It was more like, you know, if you happen to buy a toy that you didn't know was sensitive. Like I walk into Walmart and buy a Batman toy for the new movie, but it's not supposed to be out yet. I come home and take a picture of it. Could I lose my giant account that I've been working on? Like it could happen to anyone, and it could probably still happen to me, because I
Yeah.
am very aggressive about buying toys once I see that they're available. So if tomorrow there's like a new Dominion T-Rex available on, uh, German Amazon, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna do a review for it. And if it's wrong, I'll probably get flagged again. So I've kind of learned my lesson. I don't know. I don't know what the lesson is here, Victoria.
Well, the lesson is we hope we don't have to repeat this in,
Right.
some amount of time. So let's see who is joining us here in the chat this evening. So our friend Dodgson, we got Dodgson here is with us again. Yeah, so he agrees, Andy, awesome. Andy's, the channel is just great. I've used him a lot because I buy other stuff outside
Yeah.
Jurassic.
Yeah.
I buy Nanmu and Reborn and Papo, and I always go to him to see, if he has a review, I watch his first.
Yeah.
Let's see, Battery Bob. Hey, Battery Bob, thanks for coming back with us. Our pal Greg, the mysterious Greg, is here with us.
Mm-hmm.
Often mentioned, seldom seen.
Yeah.
We have Jurassic Dave. Hey, Dave. A huge friend of both of us in the show, of course. We have Cobra's Collection. Hello, Cobra's Collection. Thanks for coming on. We have, who else do we have here? We have Nick. Our pal Nick is here
The
with
whole
us.
gang is here.
Yeah, everybody's here. Let's see. We have Paul. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Good to see you. We have Jason. Jason, welcome to the show. Glad you were able to make it this evening while we were live. We got Jacob. Jacob, how are you doing this evening? Good to see you. We have Alex. We got a good little crowd forming here. We got Ellis. How are you doing, friend? We got Jared in the house. Jared, welcome to the show. Thank you for stopping by. We got Emperor Drago. Do you guys have some contact with Mattel? I did.
Only
Tim,
when they're mad.
I know, right? Only when they're mad, exactly. Delvy and Seek, how's it going? We have Supersaurus. Good to see you. I'm glad that you were able to make it in this evening. Awesome. And we got our pal Brad from Jurassic Park Podcast hanging out with us tonight. Yeah.
Bradley.
So Totally. We have, let's see who else. We got Caleb in the house. Hey, Caleb, how's it going? It is
Hey.
awesome. Yeah, good stuff. So, and we have also Paula J. That's the badass racer crest in the back. Thank you. This just showed up. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before that it showed up. Or wasn't it? I don't even remember. Recently, this week's been crazy for me too. It's just been all so super
Yeah.
super busy.
Yeah.
And Book of Boba Fett on top of that, Razor Crest, Hasbro live stream, Hasbro Q&A session that I did yesterday. So I mean, it's just been like crazy week work. So here we are.
I haven't had time to open your Razor Crest either, so definitely busy.
Live Razor Crest unboxing. Dave says,
yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Jurassic Edge.
I was gonna live unbox this Allosaurus later if anyone was interested. I don't know why I haven't opened it yet, but now that I see the new toys coming, there's no point in me holding back any longer. So, but we can get to that later.
Yeah, we can get to all the new toys later. And Alex says he got his crest today too.
Nice,
very nice.
Must be another West Coaster.
Greg's is in the shipping box still. So yeah. I hope that you guys' carded figures are in mint condition because mine, my Grogu had a crease in it and they're not packed. When you open it up, those figures are not packed as well as they should be. And I raised that with Hasbro yesterday and said, hey, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to exchange them?
Yeah.
I hope you have a solution. So they said, oh, this is the first we're hearing about it. So we'll see. So
I'm sure, like you said, they did something similar with the barge. So that I'm sure they'll have some ability to do it. But that's a bummer when you spend $350 on something and then open it up and there's this thing you couldn't have seen until you open it up that's defective. Arguably defective, I would say, for us mint on card collectors. I can understand.
Yeah, and I know some people, collectors that I talk with on a regular basis, who ordered like 4 of them. It's like 4 Razor Crests. Like, wow, where are you going to put 4 Razor Crests? I mean, I don't even know where I'm going to put 1 Razor Crest. So,
well, I can see if you wanted to buy one and then keep it for 6 months and then like trade it for something crazy like a barge or something like that. I get that. I think I saw someone on a Facebook group trying to trade 2 Razor Crests for 1 barge. I was like, that's kind of a funny conversion,
Yeah, I saw a comparison. It does. I saw a comparison on Instagram yesterday, and it was the barge next to the Razor Crest, and the barge is still like a lot bigger,
massive. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Dave says Q&A was great. Victoria, good content while we were home sick. So Dave, we hope you and your family are feeling better very soon. But glad that we can provide a little bit of content to help you alleviate a little bit of the stresses that come with that. Keys to Ben's. Hi guys, when will the podcast be back?
We get this question every time we meet up. It's one of the podcasts.
I feel like it. Yeah.
I don't know. Victoria and I are both insanely busy, and the podcast was like a major commitment. I mean, we had to map things out. Record late into the night, and then you had to do a ton of editing. So it was not someday, maybe, I don't know, once we quit our jobs and do this full time, maybe.
We'll say it's on hiatus for now. How about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I always had a blast, blast doing the show. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a time commitment. Curb Cycle. Hi, Victoria and Tim. Chris from Australia here. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Thanks for joining us this evening. You're lucky to find the Rorschach Allosaurus because in my stores, the only Rorschach we have is Limbo. So I got that Allosaurus, a couple of weeks ago. Did you get yours online, Tim, or where did you find yours at?
I got mine online. I did see them in my local Target once, but when I went back, they were gone, which I'm always happy to see that someone else is scooping up the new toys around me. But perhaps Ellis King is from maybe another region too. We know that drastic Mattel distribution can really screw you over depending on where you live. So
yeah, that's true. Brad says you aren't just supposed to wing it.
I mean, we basically did wing it. I mean, we basically did, but we had like sort of an idea when we sat down.
Yeah, like I'd send you things or you'd send me things. Oh, look at what's happening and let's talk about this, when we record. And But yeah, and then it was basically when we'd sat down that night to record, we would like map it out at that point, like in 10 minutes and
Yeah,
sketch it
it was
out. And
basically winging it, but it still was a lot of work. Okay,
yeah,
so come on, Brad.
if only Brad ran a
Yeah,
podcast and knew what that was
What
like.
does Brad do? Like, release 3 episodes a day or something insane like
I
that? I don't
know.
even know how he does that. I'm
I
pretty sure
know.
Brad's actually 2 different people.
If
It's like,
only, yeah, if only Brad had like 3 podcasts, he would see what it was like, right?
yeah.
So Jason says, well, we both got here at the same time to discuss that trailer.
Hey,
Oh, we're going to
yeah.
talk about that in just a bit here. Yeah, super cool. Do you think that bioluminescence dinosaurs will come in Dominion? The new Brachiosaurus Legacy seems to tease it.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. Bioluminescence on the Brachiosaurus. Wow.
Mm, is that what that is? I mean, I know in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the Brachiosaurs do have that teal color on their heads, the same color as the toy.
Yeah, I guess I would say that if I'm thinking of metallic paint on core Mattel figures, we have the Parasaurolophus that is bioluminescent, has metallic paint, and then this Brachiosaurus. So maybe you're onto something, Jurassic Edge. I don't know.
Maybe. Star Killer, thank you for coming here this evening. What did you think about the trailer? So we're going to get to that in just a second here. Creative Mind, welcome to the show. And Nick, Nazi robots called Brad Coincidence, I think. They
No,
had
it's
to
not a
have named
coincidence.
after Brad Jost, right? They had to have. Who else would they be naming them Brads after?
Yeah.
Nobody.
It's not a coincidence. It was on purpose.
It was purposeful, yes.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So people are asking about the trailer. Should we talk about the
Let's get into
trailer?
that. For sure, let's do it. I think a lot of people have watched it over and over and over again. I've watched it about 3 or 4 times. How about you?
I've seen it twice.
Yeah, so
And
you've seen
it's
it
not
at
because
reasonable.
I would have seen it a lot more. It's just because it's been so crazy the last few days. Like yesterday, it dropped literally like minutes when I got done with the Hasbro Q&A, and then I watched it. Then I had to like go to work, and then I got home and I showed it to my husband, and on the TV and everything. And I kid you not, I always talk about how sometimes our priorities don't necessarily align with the spouse's priorities. Like about halfway through the trailer, he pulls out his phone and just starts like scrolling. I'm like,
you're like, hey, TV, eyes on the TV.
Give me that. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. I was brushing my teeth fresh out of the shower with my towel on. Someone sent me the link. I immediately, wiped my face, went out to the living room where my kids were watching like Disney Plus, immediately casted it to the TV and watched it full screen, which I don't think I've ever done that with a Jurassic trailer before. I usually watch it like on the internet on my phone or something. So I showed the kids it. They thought it was cool. They were like, I was like, you want to see it with Dad? And they're like, yeah. They probably would have said that regardless. But then then I couldn't watch it until like much later in the day because I was just getting ready to go to work. So but I've seen it a few times. Feel like we can talk about it. Obviously, very exciting. I personally feel like they, to my benefit, pulled a lot of punches and didn't show a ton of stuff. I feel like it was a little bit more of like a peek and a tease than like a proper, this is everything. And I know we'll get that trailer eventually. That more, but yeah,
it was I agree, it wasn't like spoilerific. I mean, a little bit, but not like to the extent that like Jurassic World or Fallen Kingdom were. They reined it in a little bit, which is what we asked them to do. But yeah, it gave us just enough to like hype us up, and I think we needed that at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's no surprise. Can I say the big giant dinosaur in this stream? Is that going to upset you or upset anyone else?
It might upset Mattel.
You probably know how to say it better than I do. I'm like all embarrassed. Is it the Gigantosaurus? Is that how you say it?
Giganotosaurus.
Oh, I was so close. Giganotosaurus. I always say Gigantosaurus because I'm an imbecile, but that's so funny. Giganado.
Giganotosaurus.
Giganotosaurus. They barely show. I mean, they didn't show it really. So kudos to them for having a little restraint and not showing like everything they could have. And I even feel like some of the shots, like the mosasaur attacking the boat, like that was from the IMAX screen, which I know a lot of people didn't get to see that because it wasn't in the YouTube prologue, but when you went and saw Fast and Furious, they showed that scene. So I like them not using that stuff that not everyone has seen in this trailer and still not giving away too much. So
yeah, for sure. And here's an interesting question about the trailer while we're talking on it. Do you think the dial in the trailer is real or another fake act like the hologram in Fallen Kingdom?
I think it's real. I mean, the hologram was pretty clear. So
that's the animatronic. Don't tell anybody you saw that. Boom. Yeah. Don't tell Mattel. They're gonna kill me.
It looks really, really cool. Definitely a departure from the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus, but every Universal Jurassic World dinosaur has been sort of a departure from the Jurassic Park version. So not surprised there. I'm just amazed that we're finally getting Dilophosaurus again.
Yeah, for sure.
My shoulder was in one shot. Unconfirmed if it was Dodson, but probably. I loved Washed Up Woo though. What a great
yes. I want to talk. We got to talk about Washed Up Woo. That's a great hashtag there. Washed Up Woo. Yeah. What was up with that?
He looks.
He does. He looks like he's been, drinking. He looks like he's
like on break from Starbucks. Basically, he's like, I've been a barista since the Fallen Kingdom, since the auction. So I can talk to you for a minute, Dotson, but then I got to go back in and make drinks. It's just so funny how he's got much longer hair. And
yeah, he looks good. I mean, I know he looks rough, but he looks good.
Yeah. Ditch the turtleneck in favor of a cozy sweater. I love it.
Greg has a good one.
The Wood, yeah.
I think we're gonna have a redemption arc for Woo in this film. Just a hunch. I don't know any spoilers. So. I don't look for spoilers, but I just have a hunch.
Yeah, he was never like diabolical, right? He never like dangled people over dinosaurs to get eaten. He just like was obsessed with being the best, and not necessarily like a really bad guy. He was kind of a jerk in Camp Cretaceous though, but
he was. Yeah. He leaves the kids on the island. What a doof.
Yeah. Everybody did though. Literally everyone left the kids on the island. So
everybody left the kids on the island. Yeah, no, he, I feel like Woo started off, he had this ability. He, he's like, why not? Hammond was supporting him, the technology was there. He wanted to do great things. He did do great things. Then he got to his head, more and more and more and more. And then he ended up where he was at. I don't necessarily think he's diabolical either. I mean, obviously his intentions and motives may not be great, but at this point, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So what else from the trailer? So, it's great to have Dilophosaurus back. It's great to see Woo back. I'm thinking of some of the really cool shots that we saw in that trailer. Like there's that one compound, right? Like on the, like below, and it's like the camera's hovering over, like flying in the air. It looked like something out of Camp Cretaceous, kind of. But
yeah, no, there's so many quick glimpses of things that it's hard to. And again, I've only seen it a handful of times, so I need to like go in and freeze frame and stuff. But there seems like there's a lot of like that whole sanctuary that they see from the helicopter. I mean, that's just crazy. So, but then when I see something like that, I kind of think, I'm sure like you, it's like toys. Like what kind of toy can I get off of that sanctuary? What kind of base can I get? What kind of, play set can I get? And I know there's some stuff like that coming for the Jurassic mini line, the little miniature figures. There's going to be some play sets around a sanctuary and all that. But I'm hoping I don't know. I'm hoping against my wildest dreams that we get some sort of mainline sanctuary playset or something like that. Fences, give me something.
Yeah, we need the environmental piece. You see, we can't even talk about the trailer without talking about toys because that's just where our minds go. Our minds go straight to, ooh, this would be a great toy. That would be a great toy. I need that.
Or how about the Pyroraptor and Atrociraptor, who were both like prominently, well, at least the Atrociraptor was all over the trailer, but Pyroraptor was too. And like, I can't help but think like my toys that I got in trouble for are in this trailer. Can I show them off now? The Power Raptor looks just like the toy, but uh, anyway, yeah, I definitely was looking at the trailer through that lens of what kind of collectibles can I get out of this. Dilophosaurus, obviously. So cool stuff.
Yeah. Did you think at the beginning of the trailer, like I just missaw it, but I thought that that one of the cowboys was riding on the Parasaurolophus.
Oh no, I didn't notice that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. Hopefully
He was
not.
on a
That's
horse. He was
seems
on a
kind of
horse.
defeats the purpose to be like we're trying to save these animals. Let's ride them, But
Yeah, I just
yeah,
missaw it. Like
yeah.
he's on a horse, but they're all in a herd, right? And I thought the first time I saw it that it was riding on a Parasaurolophus.
Um, I love that opening shot though, where like you see like the empty landscape, and then the camera tilts up, and the cowboys run underneath it, chasing the dinosaurs. It's amazing. So
Not dangerous at all.
definitely lots of cool cinematography in here that I'm excited to
Yeah,
see.
for sure. Seeing that there is Inosaurus, like actually like moving around in its beak and
Oh
very
yeah,
intimidating.
right. And that's definitely a blink if you miss it kind of peek at that dinosaur design. Someone took a screenshot where you're actually able to really look at a little bit of its face. Looks very cool. Looks very, very bird-like, not dinosaur-like. So excited to see that. And of course, excited to see what the toy looks like. So soon enough, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, a couple other major things that we saw in the trailer.
Baby Blue, or rather, I think its name is Beta. Yeah, Beta, Blue and Beta. So very cute and adorable. I know
Yeah, that was cool.
I know we waded into cute baby dinosaurs in Fallen Kingdom a little bit with the Raptor Squad, but they really didn't take advantage of it. And then we had Bumpy and Camp Cretaceous, where they took advantage of it a little bit more before they supersized Bumpy, and it was no longer cute. But I'm kind of hoping that they really go for it with Beta and really harness that baby Yoda, power. And it looks cute in the trailer, so I hope there's more of that.
It does. It does until it comes up and bites you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that was really cool. And just I was looking at some talk earlier about the Quetzalcoatlus, how it's like 80 times the size of what it should be.
Oh really? I thought it was huge.
It was huge. It's the biggest pterosaur, I believe, but it I guess like anything in Jurassic, right? It's magnified to.
Yeah, I love it though. It's also got very bird-like features versus something more dinosaur. I mean, it's got all this plumage on its neck. Love the colorations too. I know we're talking about the movie, but another toy I'm very excited about is the Quetzalcoatlus. I bet it'll be the repainted Mattel version we already have. I can grab it. It's in reach. Let's look at it. I mean, this is pretty faithful to the trailer. If you change the coloration, it's already got feather detail on the body and everything. So I bet we'll get this one with some, obviously a new paint job and that little DNA thing that comes out of it. But we only got one of these figures, which is kind of rare for Mattel, right? No repaints. So
no repaints.
So we'll get one, I'm sure.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be repainted. That I can't really see them making that better, honestly. I mean, they can, but I just don't see it.
Dave says, as long as Luke shows up to train Beta, I'm good.
Yeah, and Brad says, can't wait for Beta to come to Giganotosaurus and then fall asleep next to
it. It'll be like a Sam Neill de-aged with CG that comes and trains Beta.
Imagine that, if they actually did that, and it's like a deleted scene from Jurassic Park or something.
I don't want him to do that. No thanks.
I don't either.
I'm good with it for Luke because it's Luke, and the way they introduced him was so epic that you can't even have a problem with it. But no, not for Jurassic. Keep your weird de-aging away from my Jurassic. The wings look different, Tim, in the photo. The wings in the Quetzalcoatlus dinosaur. I still think Mattel will just repaint that figure regardless, just because that's how they roll.
That's how they roll. Unless you're a Dimetrodon, they might not repaint you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so feathered dinos, finally seeing those in action.
DH Woo. Yeah, Pyroraptor, of course, will always hold a special spot in my heart for the
Hard to
trouble we
get
already
past you.
mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it looks awesome in the trailer. It looks a little bit smaller than a raptor. I don't know. Did you feel like it looked a little bit smaller?
maybe. We didn't see it very well, but
Yeah,
yeah, just enough.
yeah. It did.
Um,
I guess it didn't look like the proper, 6 foot Jurassic Park Velociraptor to me, but love the feathers.
yeah. There's a conversation going on in the chat, I guess, about how Blue would have reproduced, um, made a tree, because how the heck did she get the baby? Yeah, I don't really understand that, but
What?
yeah, I don't know. And then Nick has says that it's a
Yeah,
process called parthenogenesis. That's if I'm saying that right, can
yeah,
undergo when they birth laying eggs. I mean, this was in the first Jurassic Park. Like, why is this even like a question?
yeah.
You
And
know?
the Parthenogenesis, whatever it's called, was mentioned literally in the VR Jurassic World game, which was probably a little, breadcrumb to what was going to happen in Dominion. So she created it asexually. So it's actually like a literal copy of her, which if you follow Mattel Jurassic toy leaks, there's all these dinosaur toys codenamed Mirror, which obviously we know now is a code name for Beta, because it's a mirror of blue, right? So cute little code naming they did there.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't want to have a clone of myself. That'd be weird.
As a child, no, God, no, no
No,
thanks.
that'd be like Boba Fett, right? It's basically what he was.
My kids are already enough of me when I was a kid and difficult, so no thanks.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, and we cannot forget, the original cast. That seeing them finally in the
Of
movie,
course, yeah,
in the preview.
yeah.
Yeah, that one brought a tear to the eyes.
Yeah. I'm not someone who gets emotional or whatever. I'm not super sentimental about movies. I did get a little verklempt at the end of Ghostbusters Afterlife, for real, almost every time I see it. But when I saw this in the trailer, I was like, for real chills, like chills. The way they set it up and the kind of little exchange they have, chills.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like seeing just a little tidbit we saw, obviously, but like it was like just stepping back into that world where these characters exist. Like they didn't skip a beat. Like Sam Neill was just like dialed in as Alan Grant. It was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, the looks, all of it. And I saw someone posted on Twitter, Ellie's obviously like checking out his tent or whatever when he interrupts her, very much
Mm,
like Hammond, right? But if you look, there's like a photo in one of the file cabinets that's a photo of them from the first movie at the
yeah,
dig site. That kind of stuff is, that's going to be that's what's going to be fun to watch about in this movie, is sort of the callbacks like that.
yeah, and the Velociraptor nasal resonator thing was
Oh,
in
was
there
that?
too.
Oh, was it? Oh, see,
Yeah, it's on
already
the
more
table.
Easter eggs. I love
Yeah,
it. I'm so excited to see all that come together. Alan Grant's my childhood hero. He's a password hint whenever they ask, "What's your childhood hero?" Password hint. I always put Alan Grant. So it's a
nice.
real deal for me. Don't hack my accounts, please, with that information, everybody. Thank you.
Oh no, you said it was Dr. Wu? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Dr. Wu. Um, yeah, no, yeah, it was cool. All three of them, I'm excited. Like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to get the toys too. Excited to get
Heck yeah,
Alan Grant toys again. Um,
Grandpa Grant.
yeah, and over the course of the trailer, they have different outfits on too. So I really hope we don't get 3 versions of Owen. I hope we get like 3 versions of the main characters in their different outfits.
Same.
That would be
And
that
you
would be
and what's good about, I know we were talking previously about how, seems a little on the nose how they have the same outfits basically as the original movie, but the good thing for any of the toy makers or collectibles makers is they're gonna not have to like make all new toys now, just
Mhm.
reuse them.
I know, but I mean, Alan Grant in a blue shirt is
Classic.
everything. So I mean, he's got to
Yeah.
wear the blue shirt. Come on.
It's like Coca-Cola suddenly coming in a green can and not a
Yeah.
red can.
Nick, what's the name of your first pet, childhood best friend, and the name of the street you grew up on? Didn't have any friends. Okay, so whatever.
My toys. All right, the
Yeah,
toys are the friends. Yeah, I always hang out with the toys. So let's see what else is going on here in the chat. So looks like there's a few funny comments that we have. So yeah, I see
Mod
that
Nedry
the
with yellow bike. No Mod Nedry.
okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, no. Nedry comes back with a cyborg tummy. Yeah, so no mod, Nedry, please no. So I've spoken to this one too. Arnold comes back with the cyborg arm. Like, that would be very sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but how did he get rescued? Like, just thinking if that was even a thing. Like, if he's missing his arm, how does he escape the island? Maybe he's been on the island all this time and he figured it out on his own. I don't know.
That would be interesting if they did that. That would be interesting, because I don't think anyone asked for that. So it wouldn't be like some sort of incredible movie moment where everyone's like, yeah, it finally happened. And we'd all be like, huh? Why?
Yeah. Wanted more T-Rex shots. So we got some in the prologue. I think we got a good bit there. What battle damage toys are you missing? I don't think Tim's missing anything.
No, I said none. None.
Yeah, I'm still missing a few, honestly.
You're missing that Monolophosaurus,
the Proceratosaurus,
and the what else is in that wave? What's escaping?
There was one more. There was one more in that wave.
Monolophosaurus. I don't know. Someone should know this. Someone should have a website devoted to
Greg probably knows what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss those, and now they're very rare to show on eBay at all. And when they do, they're like hundreds of dollars.
Oh my gosh. Well, mine are open, so whatever.
I would open them too.
Why can't I think of what that is? It's gonna bother me now. But yeah, they kind of, which is why. Are we ready to talk about toys yet? Can we talk about toys? Can we talk about Jurassic World toys?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. The new Extreme Damage figures were up for pre-order at Walmart today, which being able to pre-order toys, especially retailer exclusives, is amazing for Herrerasaurus. Thank you, Greg. That was going to bother me. For this situation right here where you couldn't get this missing wave, being able to order stuff from the stores is huge. So let's talk about all of these legitimately revealed Dominion toys this morning.
Let's do that. So let's go ahead and show them here. I'm going to pull up some images and we'll talk about what we have here. So hopefully it doesn't get my channel stricken from the internet, but here, we'll do that.
This is all legit. Okay.
Okay. All right. So this right here.
Is it pulled up here? I can't see it. Hold on. No, it's not pulled up yet.
Right.
There we go.
So that's one of them. That is the Apple Pyrex. It's back. Cherry Pyrex.
Repainted. But I dig the dark colors. It looks especially menacing here. I really like the dark around the eye. I think they really went for it, at least in this official photo. I've really learned to, take these official photos with a huge grain of salt. But can you go to the pictures of the hand real quick with the hand touching it? They make it look hilariously. Either that guy has massive hands, or they resize this thing down to a smaller figure.
Yeah, it's not that small. If you really have one of these, any of these T-Rexes that have been repainted a million times, they're small. They're not that small. That's just.
Yeah, I thought that was funny because they're usually pretty good about scaling those hands, but man, those hands are huge.
What's the like the veining? Like there's like black veining.
Right. And I brought this up to Chris earlier. It's like a marbling they're doing with the plastic. they already
Hmm.
do the flex, right? The little flex to give
Yeah.
it some texture, but it looks like there's some sort of marbling happening. You can see it on some of the other figures that were revealed today when we get to it, but on the Rex, it's really, really obvious. There's these black veins going through it, so not paint. It's literally cast in the plastic, so pretty cool.
She looks like her mascara is running.
But I like the darker colors. The lighter jaw is a little like all the
Yeah.
T-Rexes. It's like it doesn't really blend. I don't know why they can't just blend it a little bit or
Look at that packaging there. That packaging is pretty sick.
Very cool. Way better than the Legacy Collection packaging. I definitely dig this.
The Rex renders is really good.
Yeah, yeah. Very menacing. Again, not like goofy looking like some of the T-Rexes. It looks cool.
And one thing I really liked about the Apple Pie Rex is how they did the battle damage on both sides, so you can see it from either side of the dino. And same applies here.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the double-sided extreme damage. It's fun. No missing pieces.
No missing
cool
pieces. So here's the Aloe.
This is the one that I was the most excited about, especially when I saw it in the box. That's what really made me excited about it. But you can see the marbling here on the chin too. This figure has that same effect, but I'm imagining, as we all are, it's going to be this Allosaurus, but like almost twice as big. This thing,
Yeah.
So very excited. I'm gonna open this while we talk about toys.
Nice. Nice.
This actually almost has the same coloration as that one, a little bit.
Very similar. And look at the leg. Like there's like actually like some scars like sculpted into the side of it.
Yeah. It has scars on. It has scars here on this one. Now that I see it, yeah. Look at this battle damage this one has. It just is missing its whole.
Ouch! Ouch! That's gonna leave a scar.
I love the tail paint and the leg paint though. On this.
Yeah, you know what I love is how the other one had like a grown ass man's hand. This one has like a kid's hand on it.
Yeah, a properly sized hand. You see how there's no paint on this one? There's no paint on the legs. It abruptly stops at the above the hip. But this one you have on screen is like the deluxe version. So not only is it larger, but it's got better paint too. It's got electronic roar, and it also has that cool battle damage. I don't know if you showed the photo already of the battle damage, but cool. This is cool. I want to play with this guy, but I can't because I'm on the stream. I didn't know they showed a picture where the bones come up too. Very cool.
Yeah, it looks kind of like the Albertosaurus, like how it had like multiple.
It's exactly like that one. This guy seems like he's standing up a little better. Maybe
it. The green one. It's the same as the green one, right? This one. So, yeah. They stand better than the.
I love it. Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, that looks painful. Like, just don't.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be bigger than this thing. It's gonna be a cool toy. Very excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Hey, look, there's a picture of Blue on there with like a little battle damage thing.
Is that Blue?
Yeah,
I can't see it. It's smaller on my screen.
It's itty bitty, but maybe that's confirmation.
I like the packaging on this too. If you zoom out, it's like the same motif as the Dominion, but it's all like red sky. I love this extreme damage artwork.
Yeah, I wish you could make these images bigger. Can't make them that big.
That's weird.
But so there's those two. There is this one. What's the name of this one, Tim?
Colaris.
I say Coelaris. I think.
Whoa, way off.
Okay. Coelaris. But yeah, this one is lively.
I love this one. The way that it looks like they almost redid the whole figure because we already have. What are you calling it? Solaris? What are you calling it? Coelaris. I think you just made that up. I
make everything up.
I love that figure, the base figure, the $8.99 figure or $7.99 attack pack version. But this one has a really cool like movement to where its hips go up into its tail. It just has like a much more like bird-like silhouette. I don't know.
It's
They got
got
one.
some,
Of course, I have one in reaching distance. That's why.
so it's got like some
Whoops.
Shakira dancing action.
So you can see if you look at this one, how its tail just kind of goes wah wah wah. I mean, and if you look at that new version, it has a much more like arched tail. Also, the ridges back here on the back of the head on this version compared to that new one. I mean, you can see it's just got more of everything basically. All in all, I think this version's much better. I like the paint too. I know Greg said he didn't like it because it's a
It
little.
looks it looks good to me. It looks very bird-like. It looks like it has a lot more personality and liveliness than the other one. But I don't like the teeth. Like it has those silly looking teeth. But
Yeah,
the posture is good. I like the posture for
really
sure.
cool posture. Yeah, I love this figure. I don't like that it's got like these big giant notch damage out of it.
Yeah.
I'd like to get this in the main line without that, but there's the DNA tag.
Yeah, you could put the SD card in there.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people be like, "Oh, I'm going to lose that," but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually like pull out and remove it. It stops. I guess you're going to have to go to collectjurassic.com to pull up the link for the Raptor because it's gone. It's out of stock, so you won't see it here.
All right. Well enough. It just so happens that I have Collect Jurassic up here, and it is okay to share these, right? We're not going to get.
I don't know. Your guess? No, it's totally fine. Mattel posted about them on their Instagram, so it's all legit.
Mattel posted about.
It's
Okay.
all legit. I
So
don't
it's
know
on
about
your
the
checklist, right?
Yes, I don't know about the Brachiosaurus. I don't know if that's safe to show, but it's all over the internet now, so it's fine.
It's all over the internet. So I'm looking at your checklist here, and there, yeah, I
There's
see it
the
right there.
calendar, Greg. Yeah, that's right. The secure wall we were excited about. Can I upload my pictures from this? Yes, you can. Go for it.
All right, so that's this guy right here.
Yep. If you click, yep. There.
Check it out. Check it out. Look at that. Whoa.
Authentic deco.
Authentic to what?
Yeah, I don't know. I love this paint coloration. It reminds me of the Plesiosaurus, the first battle damage Plesiosaurus we got. But this Raptor sculpt is new. I think it's all new.
It is new. It is.
I love it. I love the tail that arching up, and I love the head. Even though it's got those little bumps on the neck like Blue does, it looks really cool.
It does. Yeah, no, this is a new sculpt for sure. It's hands are a little too webbed, feet are a little big, but
Oh, wow.
I mean, what do you expect?
It does have really webbed hands, though. Wow.
Yeah. I think the Amber figures were like that too, though.
I don't know. This thing is gorgeous, though.
It is. That's probably the best looking, like, other than the battle damaged blue from back
right
4 years ago. Like, I think it's probably gonna be like one of the best looking Raptors.
I agree. I hope they take this and paint it for the main line without the that battle damage. But really cool looking figure.
Brett says is the Arctic Raptor. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Arctic Raptor. Such a cool paint deco. It's just really cool.
I dig it.
Those webbed hands, though, I did not notice that when I first saw this. That's funny.
Man, it's so good. Like when I saw this, I was like, whoa, because you don't always know with Mattel. You can get repaints that are like, you can get some that are like nice, and then some are just not good at all.
Yeah.
This is really like attractive looking.
Yeah. And sold out. Obviously, it was attractive because everyone bought it. All the other ones are still available, but this one sold out.
Yeah. What's interesting too is that the tail doesn't have a joint. Like it's just it looks like
I
it's
know.
like part of the
it doesn't even have like the rotation or anything. Look at the box photo though. Sometimes they get clever on these renders and smooth over things that aren't real. Nope, it's one piece. It's one piece. There you go.
Oh, is it? It kind of almost looks like there's a seam there. I can't really tell. It's hard to say. The rubber band's kind of in the way.
Yeah, that too.
Either way, I mean, you get the dual battle damage again, which, I love the battle damage / extreme damage, like, assortment. Like, it harkens back to the original Kenner line, and it's just one of those things. I really liked all the stuff from, the first iterations of it that Mattel did, and, I'm glad it's continuing because it's a really neat. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun is what it is.
Yeah. And there's one more from this assortment they didn't show off today, probably because it's spoilery for the movie, and that's Dimetrodon. So
Yeah.
another figure coming out.
I see the name right here, Dimetrodon. Let's take another look at this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that thing. Again, but yeah, I think the only other figure on here that we haven't looked at is the Brachiosaurus, whatever that is.
Okay, let's take a look at the...
It's down. It's down. Oh, no, it's up. You're right. No, you're right. This list is really long this year, so it's kind of a beast to navigate.
Oh, yeah.
There she is. So let me just grab mine real quick. No, I'm not going to do that. It's too hard to do. But such a, low-key paint job on the Brachiosaurus we already have. And they really went, they kind of just built on top of what we already have with more paint layers.
Yeah, this is, I don't know that this is going to be better than the previous one. I don't think it will be, but at least it does have a little bit extra, paint and a little more detail. And like I said earlier, if you look at Fallen Kingdom, the Brachiosauruses do have that same color in the movie, like on their heads. So I think that's what they were going for here. And, it's better than just having a straight up same exact, repack of the previous, which is awesome, but
yeah,
like at least this is it's different, right? If they're going to bring it back, at least mix it up a little bit, do something different, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's one of those figures that it's like, how am I going to make room for this? Because I definitely want to have them both out, just because they're such unique paint jobs and they're sort of statement pieces. It's just different enough that I want to get it out for sure.
So this one has the marbling we were talking about earlier, but this one is in like an orangey or yellowy color. It looks
like. It's really evident in the legs for sure. It's interesting. I want to know how, subtle it's going to be in hand, or if sometimes it's going to be like, wow, this is almost a whole nother paint application on here. It's so vibrant.
Yeah, if only I didn't already have 3 Brachiosaurus. No, who am I kidding? Of course I'm going to get it too. Does it look like it has a button on the back?
Well, it's got that that tag.
Oh, it's the tag. Oh, yeah, the SD card. All right.
And since this was pulled from, you can really see the marbling there big time on this photo. Yeah. But we don't know anything else about this figure in terms of what assortment it's in, if it does have any sort of, extra features like sound or something. It was from, I think, German Amazon, so not a lot of it was kind of a basic listing, so didn't say really much about it, just the fact that it exists.
Right. So I hope they make a Jurassic Park 3 one, and Brad says not fun.
Not fun. Hey, but what is it, the Tray of Bob? Yeah, you should go for it, man. Go for it. Go all the way.
Yeah, I mean, we're really, if there's one thing we're really good at, I mean, for everything that we do, we can enable.
Yeah.
So, certainly buy a dinosaur or 2 or 3 or 4.
And it's never too late to get into collecting Mattel, because they repaint and re-release. So you can always get your favorite dinosaur, even if you missed it from 2 years ago.
Plenty to choose from.
Can you put Switch games in there? I think so, Greg. I don't think they've announced that yet, but yes, you can put little Switch games on the back of the figures for sure. I love it.
As they breath.
That's great.
I never finished that game. I know Brad says it's great. It's great. Oh, my husband played it. He loved it too, but I never finished it. You're doing a good job at enabling. That's what we do. If you want to be enabled, come to Cocktail Hour.
There's going to be so many cool figures this year, so it's a good time to get into it for sure.
It is. Yeah, this is cool.
And Hammond collection coming up. That's true too.
And Hammond collection. I didn't wake up this morning expecting that our friend Greg was going to have left me multiple texts on my phone, but I'm certainly glad that he did, because I was able to jump on Walmart and get all these pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And I didn't wake up knowing that I was going to need another Brachiosaurus, but there's that going for me too.
Yeah. Oh, did you pre-order it from the Amazon website?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I won't incriminate anyone else that we know who did it with me, but I definitely did it, and someone else did it, and it was expensive. But it's just what we do, okay? All right, it's just what happens.
That's what we do. Hey, if all else fails and it doesn't show up in the U.S., you'll have one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
I like
Gotta
how
do what you gotta do.
Plush Boy keeps asking me what things I'm missing, or what I just assume that I have everything that there is. And I'm
Yeah,
not
just
missing
assume.
anything. Nothing you can think of. I even have Franklin. Um,
That's true.
I I I yet woke up just like you with a bunch of messages. I think that we need to create some sort of like, there's an app that we can all download that when someone presses a button, it like makes your phone go wah wah wah. Because I would have woken up earlier had I known this was all going down. Um, it was definitely a lot to wake up to today. I was like, wow, I did not expect to drop a few $100 before I even got in the shower, but it happened because there was Lego too that came out too.
Yeah.
I know you're not a huge Lego fan, Victoria, but the Jurassic Park Lego set was one for the ages. So
Yeah, if there was such an alarm, it would have to make the beeping sound of the electric fence coming back online.
oh, that'd be so cool. Wah, wah, that'd be awesome. I love
That's
it.
how you knew there's a new pre-order to go
And
find.
Alan Grant's like on the count of three. 1, 2. Yeah, that'd be good.
Pre-order.
Yeah.
So let's see here. There is a question that I saw about the Hammond collection. So Britannia joined in because the Hammond collection is coming up too, and then Thomas adds on to that. What's the story with Hammond collection? Also, have any new figures, humans, been revealed?
Not yet, but Behind the Gate on Target has a reveal this Wednesday, but I think it's Legacy Collection. But there's more to come for Hammond Collection. I was just going to Target right now to look and see. But yeah, it's Legacy Collection for this Wednesday. So the red phone rings answered. What'd you say?
I said, what could it be?
I mean, I have no idea.
It could be the Kirby's ringtone too. I would take that totally.
I think that would wake me up like the gate horn would. That would get me up.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some of the collection more on the subject. So
I felt like did we look at it when we were on the show last time? I feel like we did.
I don't think. When did we last do this? I don't even remember.
I'm telling you, I feel like we did. I don't know. I'll look at them again though. Let's do it.
I don't even remember live streaming with you since a long time.
Made a big impression on you, clearly. I'm pretty sure we did.
It's been a while.
These are also sold out too.
No. Yeah, they sold out the first day. It wasn't July?
Oh wow, maybe it was. I don't know.
You see, it's not me that's tripping, it's you. Anyway, Hammond collection, right? So
2 months ago.
Yeah,
2 months ago. Sorry, I had to prove myself wrong.
So we have 2 Hammond collection items so far. So basically, in a nutshell, Tim, what is the Hammond collection?
The Hammond collection is a super articulated, super detailed 3 3/4 scale toys. So think Amber collection, but instead of being 6-inch scale, they're actually to scale with the smaller 3 3/4 figures. All the same sensibilities, with a much more realistic price point. This Baryonyx is $20, and it's probably the size of what you'd expect a 3 3/4 Baryonyx to be. So basically, the toys I really wanted them to come out with first before Amber collection. Before we got a chance to really like Amber collection and then rip it away and say it's canceled. So, I think an improvement in every way myself. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, Brad. Sorry. That's awkward. Me and Brad talked about it on his stream. Sorry.
I mean, it's really easy to confuse us and all. So
yeah. I don't have my own stream, guys. I just walk around barging into other people's and
yeah, but this is cool. I mean, like you were saying, and I think for the longest time, we've always said the 3 3/4 inch line is great, but how great would it be if there was more of a collector geared segment to it?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're going for with these.
Exactly. Thomas Frost got it perfectly. Very cool. Basically, Jurassic Park vintage collection, 100%.
Yeah.
As a vintage collection collector, that's exactly what this is. You got your basic figures that the kids buy slash all of us buy, and then this is the more adult oriented one. So, and Amber Collection was always destined to only grow so much because they were bigger figures to begin with, and you have all of these bigger dinosaur species, and making those figures, making a 6-inch scale Triceratops is an expensive ordeal. So it was never going to work. This is much more realistic playground to play in for them.
Yeah, I like it. I'm anxious to see what comes next. So there's Baryonyx. There is also Parasaurolophus.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's great
Greg.
because
That's good.
this is great because I didn't like the last one they did for the main line like a couple years back. Like it's very chunky.
It's weird. I mean, I liked it at the time because it was Parasaurolophus, but looking at it compared to this one, yeah, I mean, it's really weird looking, and it's kind of in this permanently crawling on the ground pose, whereas this one can really do some more bipedal articulation and just super detailed. Looks just like the Lost World Parasaurolophus. Or am I saying it right? Parasaurolophus?
Parasaurolophus or Parasaurolophus, I think.
Okay,
Either
so
one.
there's a little bit of leeway there. I got a little bit of leeway. Good.
Yeah, yeah.
But besides these two, there's also Velociraptor and Ian Malcolm, which were in the Behind the Gates video. And the Raptor looks so cool. I wish there was an easy way to pull photos up of it because it looks awesome. I'm probably more excited for that one than I am these other two because, I'll get to put it next to my other 3 3/4 figures and pose it and do all kinds of cool stuff.
Chris is so good at Behind the Gates.
Yeah, he is. He's way better than I would be. It would take me a million takes to even capture something sort of like what he captures. So
yeah, he's like, welcome to Behind the Gates.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good, really good.
Yeah. I suppose if I wrote a script, I'd probably be a little better, but I still probably wouldn't be quite as relaxed, I guess. I like to wing it, which I feel like Target and Mattel wouldn't love on an official video. So
yeah, this is a great pick here too. Just like the pose, like you see the personality of the toy and the dino. And
can you still buy Brachiosaurus on Target.com? When you go back,
I don't think you can.
I saw a picture of it. I'm about to buy that.
Oh no, you can't. It's not.
No.
However, you can get yourself an Apatosaurus.
I'm good, thanks. But I only have one extra Brachiosaurus in box. But I suddenly feel like I need to get another one because there's a new one coming out. That logic doesn't make sense, but it does in my head. I want to get another one.
Yeah, I still haven't opened my Apatosaurus. And when did I get that? Like forever ago. I just don't know where it's going to go. I don't know where it's going to go. I really don't. And they're still in the shipper cases from Mattel. So,
wait, Brad, did you not pre-order the Hammond collection figures? He's living on the edge over here. Yeah. Said I think he was joking about not being able to cancel them because he never bought them. Living on the edge.
Yeah, living on the edge. Well, that's very precarious there.
Thank you, Dave and Greg, for saying it makes sense to you too. It made sense to me. Now that there's a new Brachiosaurus out, I suddenly have a lot of sentimentality for the old one, and I need another one in box, I guess.
I know it's like retro now. That came out 2 years ago.
2 years ago, 2019.
But, that was a whole. Thinking of like the last 4 years of Mattel Jurassic toys, like that was definitely one of like the highlights for me. Was not just that toy, but the whole like community around it and the hype and it being posted online and the register locks and all that stuff. Like, yeah.
Oh man, I love that stuff. People couldn't buy it, then you could, and then you couldn't. Oh man, they keep us on our toes, Mattel. Whether it's sending out things without a street date or destroying your livelihood that you put 3 years into, they keep you on your toes. So good for them.
They sure do. I mean, but then again, they are, I think, the biggest mass producing toy company in the world, I believe. So
are they?
I believe
That's
so.
cool. They definitely got to continue to bring it with Jurassic. Obviously, there's some really cool stuff that we're talked about here today, but there's also some areas they're slipping. So they definitely need to, not rest on their laurels and continue to innovate with Jurassic. Yeah, don't sell. I never asked anyone to boycott or cancel your orders. Don't do that. That's a terrible idea. I
Yeah.
I,
So
I was talking to somebody even when I thought my channel was dead, and I was like, I don't care how angry I am with Mattel. Like, I'm buying Hammond collection. That's a dream toy line for me since I was a kid. Was like, I want Jurassic Park figures that are super articulated and detailed. So there was no way I was going to miss out on those, no matter what.
yeah.
Mattel could burn my house down. I'd still go buy them. So
I'm really thinking about Dominion and the toy line and what that's going to be like. It's going to be massive. I'm sure, we can all agree it's going to be massive. But, I look at my shelf, I consider everything that's not even on display. And there's probably, like, I don't know, what would you say? How many mainline items are there at this point? A couple hundred at
I
least?
have no idea. You can look behind me. It's 2 shelves, and there's probably 100 on one of those shelves. So I'm guessing we're probably at like 300 or 400. I don't know. Someone should count them.
It's a lot. And so that just really has me thinking, like, and it's easy for me to say now, months before the product hits shelves, but am I going to collect all of them? Am I going to maintain that? Like,
I
I don't
hope you
know.
do.
Yeah, my husband doesn't hope I do, but it would be fun, undoubtedly. But it's like, shoot, I look over there and it's like, should I thin the herd, so to speak, before Dominion? Or
I mean, by thinning the herd, I think you mean like putting them in storage, right? I mean, what are you going to do? Sell them?
I guess not.
Life's too short to not buy all the dinosaurs that you want. That's what I always say. So
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. I mean, dinosaurs, I've never heard anybody say, oh, I don't like dinosaurs. Like, I've never heard that ever. And like, if you said that, you're just freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So like, dinosaurs bring joy to the masses. Dinosaurs are fun. They reinvigorate that childlike sense of wonder that we all used to have, or still have in many cases. So yeah, you're right. There's, keep buying the toys. If it makes you happy, buy the toys.
And I think for us as like, childhood fans of Jurassic, having the toys when we were at least maybe not kids, but younger, there's something about Mattel that's like, they're like making all of your wildest dreams come true with Brachiosaurus, and then all of a sudden you have, some species that you always loved, and you're suddenly getting a toy of it. I mean, name any species, they've almost made it a figure of everything at this point. So that's a really kind of engaging part for me. Is just like, I love these figures. I always dreamed of having a super articulated baryonyx or something, and now I get one. So, suffice to say, you shouldn't skip anything this year, Victoria. It's too much fun to collect it all, and you can always sell it later if you're running out of room. I definitely am with you though that
I'm running out of room. Been running out of room for years.
I'm definitely totally out of room. I'm literally, I mean, it looks clean from here, but I'm there's like stuff piled up. I definitely am. It's a major ordeal to think about, but like, I'm going to like reset my room before Dominion so that I have half the shelves just totally empty, ready to put stuff on, which I think, I'm going to do what you do, which is I'm not going to show every raptor we got. I'm not going to show every Monolophosaurus we got. I'm going to be like, these are the 1 or 2 I like. That's what I'm going to show. But I'm not going to try to put out everything like I do now, which is too bad because I like being able to just like pull something off the shelf and do a comparison, but
sure,
I need a much bigger room if I'm going to collect all the Dominion stuff and keep showing it.
Yeah,
So.
no, I feel that. You know what? I just realized I forgot to talk about what we're drinking, and that's usually the first thing I do on this show. What were or are you drinking?
Just I think it's like a lemon margarita. It's a mix. It's delicious. Like I said, it's my second one. So feeling fine, feeling good. How about you?
I have got a Modern Times hazy beer.
Oh, nice.
Hazy Mosaic IPA. That's what I got here. It's
Very
a local
nice.
brewery, I believe. It's yeah, hazies are kind of the thing right now around here.
I'm not a beer guy myself, so
yeah, I prefer cocktails, but every once in a while, I see it in the store. I'm like, gimme.
Hmm. I was kind of getting into making my own margaritas for a minute, but I made a couple really gross ones, and I'm like, oh,
A gross margarita.
I made some gross ones because I got this like kit that came with recipes, and I made a couple, two in a row, bourbon margarita or not margaritas, bourbon cocktails. No, it was like a flavored shot. It wasn't good.
So it's easy. All you need is a lime. You need a tablespoon of sugar. You need a tablespoon of water. And you need your tequila. Put it in, mix it, you're set.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
all you
yeah.
need to do.
Yeah. Tequila for sure. I'm done doing the bourbon cocktails. Absolutely not. So
Yeah, I like bourbon cocktails. I like me my mint juleps and my whiskey sours and my Manhattans and all that stuff.
yeah. Some
Anyway, yeah, alcohol, that's what it does. Battery Bob is having a Jack and Coke. Very
I like
cool.
Jack and Coke. That's good.
I wonder what Greg's having.
He was dusting off the what's he
The
called?
machine.
The drink works. He's probably only got a few pods left.
Oh,
He's down
man.
to his last few pods. Poor guy. I really do feel bad for you though, Greg. That's too bad that you bought this amazing miracle device that's discontinued and you can no longer make instant cocktails. That is,
Yeah. The end of an era.
yeah, exactly.
So Dave says, get me some fences and I will bow down to Mattel.
Yes, I would love that. I would love any kind of like buildable, not build a figure, but like build a play set kind of thing. I wish they would give like every figure that came in this price point comes with like one fence piece. That'd be so cool. But I don't know. I think there's a play set that's planned this year, so we'll see. Outpost play set or something like that.
I think if they do like the fences and the gate, it'd probably have to be like a legacy collection item, I would think.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they haven't. I mean, even Jurassic Park 3 Hasbro rolled out the gate. It's a classic piece. So
it is.
If they ever wanted to use Mattel Creations for good, they could do something with a gate on there.
What have they used Mattel Creations for? They do like an RC like
Cybertruck. They do all these collaborations. Obviously, we were able to order Ray Arnold from Mattel Creations, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they've used it a little bit for Jurassic, but its main purpose is not what Hasbro Pulse or HasLab is. HasLab's main purpose is to make fans of collectors and fans of franchises happy. Mattel Creations is to make like people that collect NFTs happy or something. I don't know. It's totally different market of toys that they make on Mattel Creations. Graffiti fence playset. There you go.
Cool. We're not drinking alone. That is cool.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, like if you have any of the Kenner fencing, or if you have even the Hasbro when they did that little miniaturized one,
yeah,
any of those will work pretty well. Like,
and Schleich did a fence thing on Schleich. They did a little fence play set this past year. They're not Jurassic fences, but they're definitely not like cattle fences either. They get the job done.
Our pal Tom has those, I think.
Yeah, I bought a couple sets too. They're cool. I've taken a couple photos with them, but
Smythes exclusives.
Smythes. I actually went out in the snow today and took a couple toy photos. It wasn't
you did.
It wasn't fun at all. My feet got really wet. I couldn't, I was in the snow, so I couldn't like bend down on my knees, so I had to like crouch on my feet. It wasn't fun. That's probably why I don't take toy photography very much, because the conditions here in the Midwest it's either too hot or too cold. And I was definitely freezing out there taking that picture.
Yeah, I was doing it for a while and then I just stopped.
I love doing it, but yeah, it's time consuming and there's other things I'd rather be doing. So if I have like the perfect idea for a toy photo and I have the perfect place to do it, then I'll make a point to do it. Oh, thank you for putting this up here. But
that's good. That's
otherwise,
really good.
No, I was on the way to get groceries today, grabbed a couple toys, and I was like, the first place I see some evergreen, I'll stop and try to take a couple of photos. and then like as I'm standing in the snow, it's melting, it's turning to water, it's going into my shoes. I'm like, hurry up and get this shot. Let's get out of here.
And it's an awesome shot.
Thank
And
you.
just the proportions of that 6-inch
Yeah.
blue, like make it look like a juvenile. So it's like perfect.
Finally earned its keep in my collection. Awkward size, awkward
I know. I
proportions.
need
And
to
it's
open
like,
my I never opened those. I have them, but I never opened those little guys.
I just
And I
got
don't even have them all. I don't have like the green Rex or the green Raptor.
I
Or
just got
something.
this new set. This is from Australia. And it's cool. It's a box set. So it comes with like the orange Raptor, comes with Indominus, green Rex, Poo Poo Steige, and blue. Cool little set though. The 6-inch figures are really weird. I don't
I
think.
want that.
Yeah, isn't this cool? They're not in the US
that.
though. Sorry, they don't
I
make
want
it in the
that.
US.
I want that.
You have to import it. But they're weird little figures. But like I said, Blue finally earned her keep here, standing in as a baby beta. So
Yeah.
I see Superstores Rex says all my toy photos are strictly indoors. That's cool, man. People do some amazing indoor photos, and if I had the room, I would totally like build a set like some people do. I mean, Ted Brothers does all of his toy photography indoors, I think, and it looks great. So
Yeah.
that's my dream, is to have like a big permanent diorama. One of my mini toy dreams, Victoria.
Yeah, you could even do the computer monitor trick, and then there's your background.
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times, but
yeah, me too.
I'd love to have like a proper, like, basically I'd say it's for photos, but it's for like setting up my toys and looking at them, like a big like jungle visitor center, like basically like a model train setup, but just Jurassic Park. I'm sure we've talked about this before. That's my dream, is to have like something like that.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Why does Mattel hate the USA? We get most of this stuff. We just don't get the really weird box sets that people are usually like after. But
For battle damage, some of them.
Yeah, that too. Like the crest Albertosaurus, that one was cool, and it never came to the US. That was a great one.
The minty Albertosaurus. Yeah. That's probably my favorite one. Like,
yeah,
still.
It's awesome, and it never even came close to coming here. So, womp womp.
Yeah, and it's such a unique color too, because you haven't really seen them do like anything like that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, I love that.
You can sacrifice your guest room to be a toy photo. Well, no, this is my guest room. I'm literally in my guest room right now. It's already been sacrificed.
Yep, same here. Well, this is my office, but it's already the toy room, and the guest room is kind of also a secondary, like, overflow toy room.
When my parents come now, I literally blow up an air mattress on the floor in here, and that's where they stay, because there's no other room to stay with all my dinosaurs. Sorry. Can't put a bed in here because that would be a place I could put a shelf. So not going to happen.
Yeah. There you go. Priorities.
Mm-hmm. They're just lucky I don't put a shelf in the middle of this room, because sometimes I'm tempted to do that too.
For sure. So what other toys have been revealed or announced lately?
For Jurassic? Not that much, honestly. At least not that I'm willing to talk about under threat of getting my account banned. But I think, we talked about a little bit at the Lego. I think there'll be more coming in the next week or so. Next week is technically Toy Fair. Are you doing anything for Toy Fair at all next week? No,
I don't think so.
I have a couple like random appointments with the toy companies that they reached out to me, so I'm sort of having a soft Toy Fair next week, and I'm guessing there'll be some more Jurassic reveals next week as well.
Yeah, no, Hasbro did theirs this week for Star Wars anyway, so that's out of the way.
Wait, really? That was like their Toy Fair? That was their sort of toy fair?
As far as I know, I mean, it's always
Episode
possible.
2 Anakin was my Toy Fair reveal for Vintage Collection. Is that what you're telling me?
No, you got the big Jabba's Palace thing playset.
I mean, that was cool, but I mean, 2 figures is what they revealed for their Toy Fair equivalent. That's disappointing, but they kind of spread the love out through the entire year, so it's hard to get too angry with them. They're constantly revealing stuff, which is probably a better way to do it.
Yeah, at least they reveal stuff and make announcements and do these like
do something.
Right, at least it'll make you like find out when it shows up in some online toy store, and then
Yeah.
they punish you when you buy it.
Right.
So,
It's a
you
little
know.
different. It's a double-edged sword though, right? Like for Jurassic, this stuff kind of happens, and then like if you're like us in our, in our little group, you kind of all are in on it and you're able to order it before the masses see it. Whereas Star Wars, it's like everyone's just
Mm,
waiting for this thing to hit
yeah, true.
walmart.com, and then the second it goes up, it's gone. Like
That's true.
that's
Yeah.
stressful. So it's a double-edged sword. You either have awareness and then you're have more competition to buy them, or you have zero awareness and you're just kind of stumbling into discoveries and pre-orders and stuff.
Yeah, no, that you're not wrong about that. I mean, it is really hard to be a Star Wars collector for those reasons. Especially with Target, they sell out in seconds of their exclusives. So, um, yeah, not easy. Not easy at all.
um but I'm still glad that that Hasbro does their whole like kind of support of the line. It makes it a little more fun, and around all of these kind of QAs they do and reveals all throughout the year, it's always kind of fun in the community to participate in that versus us
Mhm.
Jurassic community just kind of blandly wandering through it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely very different strategies there.
Hmm.
So Tim, what have you added to your own collection lately? It could be Jurassic or just whatever you've added.
Oh yeah, I definitely have been. A couple Star Wars pre-orders finally got here. I'm terrible with names, but they were the Ugnaught from Mandalorian, whatever his name is.
Quill.
Um, Quill, yeah, got him. He's here. And then the blue fish guy, got him.
Menthra.
Menthral, and then I got the Mandalorian with the spiders, which was a lot of fun. And then at the same time, I don't have it over here. I can't grab it. But the bigger spider, what are they called? The spider things from Mandalorian. I don't know. I
The
got a
ice spiders, I
yeah.
think.
I got a bigger one from Shop Disney from the UK.
Yeah,
Um,
the one from Galaxy's Edge, right?
yep, I got that one. Tom was nice enough to send it to me. Did not survive the trip over here. I had to glue the legs on.
Oh man.
But I got that. So, and then Razor Crest is due tomorrow. So big news, big addition to my collection room. And then besides that, Batman and Halo, really. So,
Yes, I will take you up on that curb cycle.
because
Yeah,
Curb Cycle's from Australia, right? There you go. That's where I got
yeah,
mine. That's awesome.
that I may need to do that. I'm gonna, yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, there's constantly, when people like us, we're always talking not only about Jurassic and Star Wars, but we find other things that we end up
Wait,
like.
Curb Cycle is my friend. It's Chris. Awesome. Okay, well there you go. Chris will help you out. He's awesome. He's my Australia hookup. Okay, sorry. Continue.
um Yeah, no, so we're mostly like Jurassic and Star Wars, I think, collectors, right? Or at least I am. I know you dabble in Star Wars
Yeah.
to a good extent.
I
But
yeah.
then there's other things that we kind of enable each other on at times
Hmm.
outside of those mainstays.
Batman's definitely one right now for sure.
Yeah, the Batman. Um, I am hyped for this movie, and these toys are really helping with that.
Yeah, really cool. I was probably a little bit hyped for the movie, and then the toys came out, and then I became fully hyped because I'm still a 9-year-old inside, and toys make me excited for movies. So,
Same here. Same here.
um,
Yeah. So like these aren't vintage collection quality. These are,
no,
just basic, 4-inch figures that have some articulation. You got some vehicles and stuff. But I'm pleasantly surprised at the extent of the world building that Mattel is doing with this line. Like
Spin
you
Master. It's not Mattel. It's Spin
oh, I'm
Master.
sorry, Spin Master.
Yeah,
Yes. So they have the Batmobile, right? You have that, the
yeah.
lights and sounds, the cop car. You sent me the link earlier. I'm like,
Oh
bought.
man, Greg missed it. Bummer.
It's too bad. And then you got the cat cycle too, yesterday, didn't you?
I did. I haven't opened that one yet, actually, but I got the cat cycle. But that police set, I'm really excited about. I got two, Greg. So if you're desperate, I can hook you up with one. But I mean, I was into it when there was just figures and a bat cave and a
Yeah.
Batmobile. Like I was like, this is enough for me to get into this. I wouldn't have been as all about it if it was just figures and that was it. But the fact that they have all these vehicles and exclusives. If I had to say one thing I'm disappointed about is they kind of repack the same Batmans over and over again. It's like
Yeah.
give him like the silver spray paint and call him like Sonic armor, you know. But I think this movie's too serious for that. But it's like that for me is Batman toys from when I was a kid. It was like just repaint it
Right.
and call it Sonic armor or Scuba
Yeah,
Batman
that's what they were.
yeah.
Yeah, Batman Returns had a scuba Batman. There was, a jungle Batman with, like, green and black paint. There was, like, an Arctic Strike Batman. There was,
Mhm.
like, a desert sonar there was all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah.
But there's also, like, a deserty or, like, a dirty looking Batmobile, right? And the
Yeah.
figures are all dirty too.
Yeah, and that's kind of, that's pushing it for making a unique figure. It's like, well, we added dirt to their shoes. I'll probably skip that set, honestly. I have so many winged I have like, sorry, regular Batmans. Now I have 2 Catwomans. And by the time I'm done, I'm going to have like 4 Batmans of the same figure. But so cool. Beta Ray Bob said the Batmobile looks great. Yeah, it's awesome. It's electronic. It's got the headlights. It's really, really cool. It's huge too. They could have made it smaller and that would have been cool. And they like kind of made it full size. So love the Batman figures.
Yeah.
Excited for this police car. It's kind of goofy. It doesn't have opening doors. Like the whole top opens up like a convertible. It looks
Yeah, why
ridiculous,
not?
but it's not like I'm going to drive it around like that. But then in one of their official Walmart photos, it shows like Gordon driving and Batman like hopping in convertible style. It's like, yeah, okay, that's what they're going to do in the movie.
Is there a red phone in there too?
Yeah. I'm guessing there's probably more toys we don't even know about. There's no toys yet for the Riddler, which is kind of weird. I didn't know if that was like
Mm.
a safety thing because he looks kind of weird and he's like
Well,
wearing
he's in the McFarlane line.
exactly, but he's not in the Spin Master
No,
line yet, which is
no,
interesting.
I don't have Penguin yet. I managed to get the others from Target, like the Batman with the flight mode, and then the cat,
Yeah,
Selena Kyle, but I haven't gotten Penguin yet.
I got Penguin, and they're really starting to show up big time on shelves around here. I love Spin Master though. I know you collected a little bit of the Batman stuff too. Before the movie, just Batman in general.
Just
I mean,
right, yeah.
these figures are like a refined version of the same sort of toy making sensibilities. They're a little bit more proportionate to humans, but I mean, they have just enough articulation to get the job done. It's not like crazy, but it's also not like 5 points of articulation.
Mhm.
It's cool. Spin Master makes the Halo line too, which is a lot. Well, Jazzwares does, but I think they're somehow connected. I don't know. But no, the Batman stuff. It's just the right amount of basic. You know what I mean? Like it's just the right amount of simple toy without
Mhm.
getting kind of too dumbed down. I like it. The sword and the umbrella, yeah, that's a cool little feature that Penguin has.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Interesting. So yeah, so there's a Gordon figure too that comes with a cop car.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder what else they're gonna make, because maybe an Alfred, who know I don't know what else is in the movie, but, we'll
maybe
see.
just a Bruce Wayne. No,
Uh,
yeah.
is there an unmasked Batman in the 4-inch?
Yes, he comes with the Batcave set, and he has like
Okay.
a rubber cowl you can put on him. It looks a little weird though, but it's like Robert Pattinson with like the eyeshadow around his eyes, kind of unmasked version. But
Okay.
that
I
Batcave
mean,
looks awesome though. Very cool.
I feel like I missed the Batcave. I don't know if I've seen it or not.
Oh, really? I mean, it's not like the proper like Kenner Batcave of our youth, where that was like larger than life, but it
Yeah.
gets the job done. It's like a little cool staircase with a little computer console, and then like a pillar to put like the Bat Cycle on.
Hmm.
So it's got some cool stuff.
Yeah, I remember that one from the first, like 3 or 4 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was, like, on one side, it was just Wayne Manor, you turn it around, it's like the Batcave, and they repainted it, like, for each, like, movie of the original 4 movies, and, I never had it. I've always thought of getting it
Oh,
over the years, and I just never did.
I had the Batman Forever Batcave. I just looked it up. I got it for Christmas
Nice.
one year, and I think we probably had it as like, kids. I think we probably had it for a year before my mom gave it away because I definitely don't remember playing with this too much. I remember it,
Yeah,
but
forever.
awesome set though.
Yeah. Batman Forever. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
I know. Just because I'm hyped about Batman, I showed my kids Batman Forever and Batman Begin. Oh no, sorry, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Those are really the only appropriate Batman movies I feel like for kids my age. Batman and Robin is just a ridiculous movie. I know everyone says it's ridiculous. I know there's lots of stuff on the internet about how ridiculous it is. But I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was like, whatever, I'll watch it. It is just ridiculous. There's like
Mm.
and Batman Forever too. There's like the scene where they're no, that's Batman and Robin. Which one has Mr. Freeze? Batman and Robin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're in like the museum and it's like the hockey players are skating around. It's
I know.
just and there's like a dinosaur that like Batman slides. It's
It is
hilarious.
like the roller skates or the ice skates come out of their shoes
Yeah.
and
Which if you watch now, their rollerblades when they're going around, it was before they
oh
went back
gosh.
and edited all that stuff out. It's just
Oh man.
classic movie.
Freeze is like, what killed the dinosaurs? The
Yeah.
Ice Age.
Yeah. Oh man. Arnold is great in that movie. So good.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Yeah, no, for sure. Like for me, like Keaton is still Batman. Like he's my Batman.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are, I saw Batman 89 in the theater. It was like one of the first, like probably like the second or third movie I saw in the theater.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. Like when Joker like handshakes that guy and electrocutes him.
Yeah.
And he's a skeleton. I was like this, like trying to hide behind the seat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and I saw Batman and Batman Returns. I think that's probably my favorite of the old Batman movies. I know a lot of people hate on it, and it's like it's weird. It's so Tim Burton, but I just love it.
It's weird. I mean, you're like a little bit older than me, so for me, Batman and Batman Returns had to be, home video movies, and they were like very scary for me, especially since for me, Batman Forever was really my first big kind of movie introduction to Batman, and those movies are just far and away so much more tonally different than Tim Burton's. I actually went on like a deep dive about the director who took over after Tim Burton and how his like approach to Batman was. It's very interesting because it's definitely much different than what Tim Burton did, but all the same like universe, which is funny.
I know. The only two constants were Alfred, same actor, Michael Gough, and then Commissioner Gordon,
Huh.
Pat Hingle, I believe.
That's like literally it. Literally everything else looked different, including Gotham.
Yeah. Gotham was totally different from the Burton movies to the Schumacher movies.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like it went in that direction, and then you have the Dark Knight trilogy that comes along a decade later, and that's I love those movies too.
Me too. They're not quite as fun. Again, not quite as accessible for kids, I feel like, but they're good movies.
But they're like okay, you've seen these kids. Now you're this age. You're ready for the Dark Knight trilogy. You're 15 years old. This is. I think it's still like the best overall like story, like beginning to end for Batman, but it's just for me like the classic stuff. I'm really excited for the Flash. I just want to see Michael Keaton back as Batman.
Yeah, that should be interesting. If they can pull it off and not be too much of a rip off of Spider-Man.
Well, I think they had that idea first. I think is my understanding is they were pursuing that first, and then Marvel did their thing. But obviously the release dates are so different that's what people are going to assume. But whatever, it's all about Michael Keaton back as Batman for me, so I don't care.
Dave says Batman Forever isn't as bad as everyone says. I'll agree with that. It's not as bad, but it's definitely not good. But it's not as bad. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey are
so over the top.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still good. I mean, it wasn't like Batman and Robin where I was watching it and I was like, why did anyone ever like say like this is good? Let's go to the theater with this. But
it's funny because like Tommy Lee Jones, like you never see him like that, like in any other movie.
Yeah.
Like he's always like serious.
Yeah.
And, like Yeah, yeah.
I love
it's
how
fun.
there's like this scene where he walks up to dinner and there's like Drew Barrymore and some other actress, and they're like the good and bad side, and they have like this dining table split in half that's decorated differently, and they have like different food prepared for them. It's like it's so just ridiculous compared to
You know
like Nolan's trilogy. It's just funny.
yeah, I barely learned this, like, a few weeks ago, but if you go back and watch that scene so, in that scene, like, that's going on, right? They're offering him foods, and then, like, Riddler comes in, and he's like, "Oh, I hope you made extra." But even before that, like, in that scene, I just discovered that you can actually see him, like, crouching over in the corner, like,
Oh,
hiding,
really?
waiting to come out.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Man, yeah, Jim Carrey is very good in that movie. I mean, he doesn't that was his like when he was like in the spotlight for everything, and he was so good in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that was I mean that was literally my first big Batman movie. First time I really got into the toys. I had a lot of animated series Batman figures, but I think that was when I like really got into it was when they did Batman Forever toys.
Yeah, they were cool. I still remember
Debbie
the
Mazar,
day
yeah.
I still remember the day I got my very first Batman figure, and it was from the, Toy Biz, Batman '89 movie line, and
No.
we used to have this, yeah, these are the character names, Sugar and Spice. We used to have this, in my hometown, in Texas, a store called Video Stop, where you could rent
Video
VHSs
stop.
at the
I love
time.
it.
Yeah, and, they sold action figures, and, I remember, like, I had just seen the movie, and I was looking at the figure, just, like, kinda staring at him, my dad's like, "You want one?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he bought me, like, my very first and I still have it, it's, like, it's over here, I think I have it right here, actually. My very first Batman figure that I ever got in, I think it had to have been 1989. But here it is. It's still here to this day. It still survives.
Oh, love that. That's awesome. That's your childhood Batman. That's
The very
epic.
first one.
Yeah.
And he still
I
has
think it looks
his
good. Yeah.
somehow he's got his batarang
Yeah.
still. I never lost it.
When I was a kid, the capes would get the wire would get so
Stretched.
stretched that that sticky stuff you used to put posters up with.
Yeah.
We used to just like coat the collar and then stick it on them. So like all my Batman figures by the end had like all the capes were infused with dried sticky stuff, but just had to keep going. I have to ask, Greg said the soundtrack was great. Do you mean the soundtrack, like the score, or music inspired by the movie? Because I know back then it was always a little bit different. Because obviously
Yeah.
Batman Forever soundtrack has Kissed by a Rose, one of the greatest
Did
recordings of
you just
all time.
share that the other day or
And
something?
it's a ridiculous video. It's so good.
I know.
It's it's the that time when they did music videos for movies where they would attempt to like make the set like something in the movie, and then they would intersperse all these film clips, and it was so good. But I'm looking at the Batman Forever soundtrack here, and I'm just wondering what other songs I should check out, because not a lot of these are jumping out at me, except for Brandy, Where Are You Now, and Kiss from a Rose, and Method Man has a song called The Riddler. Man, I gotta check this out. The
Look,
Flaming Lips? What? I gotta check this
look,
soundtrack out.
Tim,
You
look,
too?
he's got hinged knees.
Yeah, wow. He had extra articulation before that was even a
And
thing.
and watch this. He also has this belt feature thing. Like you pull it like this on the string, but you can't even see it. And you let
Yeah,
him go and he goes, whoop, let's keep it up.
just like the Swamp Thing. I love it.
Yeah, just like the something. So this isn't actually the original cape. What happened is I lost it. And my grandmother, she was always sewing. She fashioned me a replacement cape, and that's what this is here.
Oh, I was gonna say that's in really good condition. So there you
No,
go. That
no,
explains
my
it.
grandmother made the cape. Yeah, because same thing. The bands on the necks will get stretched out or lost. So yeah, he's going back in his baggie, and he's going back over in the corner.
All right, hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me. I'm gonna have to listen to this when I get off this call.
Batman Returns had a good soundtrack too. Batman Returns
I
had
love
a
this.
really
I
good
gotta check
soundtrack.
this out. I gotta check these songs out. Now that I have a little bit of backstory and some personal recommendations, I gotta check that out. That's all I remember is Kiss from a Rose, but I gotta check these other ones out.
Yeah, Dan, my grandmother was great about that. Thankfully we still have her around. She's in her 90s now, but yeah, that was I'm sure she'll remember that too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Greg makes a good point. Batman '89 had a great soundtrack too with Prince. So all of them really. I mean, probably not Batman and Robin, but the other ones did.
Yeah, I don't recall anything from that movie, but what a magical time for cinema, the '90s movies and their soundtracks. Before there was Hans Zimmer and Christopher Nolan's,
Yeah.
soundtracks, which is just brr, brr, just basically that over and over again. No
Yeah. I think
flaming lips there.
I know. I think the song on Batman Returns was, I think it was called Face to Face, and it's like it plays like towards the end of the movie, and it's a pretty good one.
Huh.
Oh yeah, Better Ray Bob has it right here.
There
He's
you
got it
go.
right there. Yeah, classic, great song for sure, and just so tonally fitting of that movie. Like that movie is such a Tim Burton movie. It's like dark and gothic, and it feels like anything else that he makes, right? Like Edward Scissorhands and
No, I don't remember
Beetlejuice,
that.
and yeah. So
There's a Nickelback trailer for Batman Begins. No, I did not know that. That's awesome.
I didn't know that either.
Hmm.
Do they know that? Yeah, I never really, I do watch all like the DC EU films from the last like several years. I never really like got into that portrayal of Batman.
No, I definitely only saw Suicide Squad and the Snyder cut of whatever it was called,
Yeah, I watched them
Justice
all,
League or
but
whatever.
yeah, I've seen them all, but I just that portrayal of Batman, I just never really got into.
Yeah. Obviously, I only saw it twice and it didn't do anything for me. But something about this new movie looks. I love Robert Pattinson. I think he's a great
Yeah,
actor. So
same.
I
Yeah,
think
he
it's gonna
is.
be. I think it's gonna be good. I don't know when I'm gonna see it, but man, I'm bummed. There was like these March 1st IMAX showings that you could get, but they sold out everywhere by me, and it was when I was dealing with my whole Instagram thing, and I'm sure I would have been more cued into the fandom if I'd been on Instagram with my people I talk to all the time, and I would have been able to score those tickets. Now I don't know when I'll see it, so we'll see.
Right on. So, one thing we haven't talked about yet, Tim, is so I know we've alluded to the Razor Crest. Yours is arriving. I think you said next week.
No, tomorrow. It's coming tomorrow.
Oh,
Somehow,
tomorrow. So,
somehow Greg beat me.
ah,
Greg was supposed to get his after me, and all of a sudden he got his first, and I don't have mine. So not
yeah.
fair.
Well, they ship from California, so I guess it
Yeah.
makes sense I would get mine sooner. But yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
I know. Duh. But yeah, so we haven't really talked Star Wars.
Yes.
So this week we had the conclusion to the Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
And I
watched
know
it
we
2.5 times now, so I'm ready to talk about the finale.
I've seen it once, but yeah, let's talk about it.
This season, this whole Book of Boba series for me was I had its highs and lows, but the highs were so good that I can't like kind of erase, like be like, yeah, we should have just not done this and done season 3 of Mandalorian. And I think it helped kind of build out this bigger world too. But there were just things about it that for me were like, I don't want them to repeat the same mistakes. I feel like I don't want them to get comfortable. I don't want them to say like, we don't need to make these shows as big a budget, because I went back and watched 2 episodes of Mandalorian today, and I mean it's on another level in terms of production quality and tone and all this stuff. And Book of Boba is just, I guess, a couple steps back from that. And if it's supposed to be, then it's supposed to be. I just don't want that to be a regular thing for these other Star Wars shows. I want Obi-Wan to shine. I want the Andor to be like. I want them to be like Mandalorian. I don't want them to be like Book of Boba, I guess.
Yeah, I have said it before on this show and on other shows that, when it comes to Star Wars, like live action, just the fact that it exists is pretty cool. You go back to 2012 before Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, like Star Wars was basically done. He had the Clone Wars kind of wrapping up at that point, but it was basically done. Like there wasn't going to be any more live action or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of what we've gotten isn't perfect for a lot of people, but I mean, if it were that or nothing, I mean, we have gotten some really bright spots, with Mando, with Rogue One, Solo.
Right. And Book of Boba wasn't like bad or by any means. It just wasn't as good as Mandalorian, which I think is kind of a testament to how good Mandalorian is.
Yeah.
No, I definitely would take Book of Boba Fett over, obviously over nothing, but I would take it over most mediocre things too. I mean, it was good. It just had some incredible things that happened that, kind of like Mandalorian, where it's like, this just feels like someone's playing with toys in the best of ways. Like the
Hmm.
assault on that that gravity train. I mean, there was just obviously anything with the Rancor was awesome. Seeing some new huts. I mean, all that stuff was awesome.
Right. Yeah. No, we got a lot of cool stuff in there.
No,
You
and
know,
Greg was saying I know most didn't like the finale, but I thought it was fun. I totally agree. It was super fun. It was a very fun
was
finale, and I've watched it 2.5 times. I enjoyed it enough to watch it again. It's just those what is it? Episode 5 and 6 were just incredible.
yeah, totally. Those are for me. Those are like the most rewatchable, just because they're so like wow. I mean, Ahsoka, Luke Skywalker in the same scene. Grogu. Yoda's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, yeah, it
2.5. That's right. I have kids. I don't get to watch it all the way through sometimes.
Ed's joined us. Hey, Ed, how's it going? Yeah,
Is
no,
that a Legacy of Kain avatar he has? I think it is. I love it.
I have no idea.
Raziel, or I think that's his name. It's an old PlayStation game. I love it. But yeah, episode 5 and 6 were definitely the most rewatchable. I think I've seen episode 5 4 times now because that ring world they show is awesome, and obviously seeing Mandalorian sync up again with the armor, all good stuff, awesome stuff.
You have a fan.
I like this guy. Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of Legacy of Kain fans out there. There's not very many of us, so we got to stick together.
Ed has been subscribed to VC since 2013, and I never knew what his avatar was. I just
it's Soul Reaver. Very cool. It's like
okay.
It's like this vampire without a lower jaw. I'm not going to get into it. We've already gotten far nerdy enough on this show, but
I learned
a cool
something
character
today. Then. Yeah. No, it was fun. I think it was a lot of fun, the finale. And, when I think back on the whole season, I feel like this whole show probably didn't really need to exist, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if it did, but it's cool that it does. It's cool that it does, more Boba, more Mando, more Grogu. I mean, all that stuff is some more Cobb Vanth.
Yeah.
Can't forget about Cobb Vanth.
I kind of think of it like Avengers Infinity War, where it was like it has to exist to set up all these other things, set up all these other characters and kind of bridges and connections between plot lines. And that's why it exists, even though it maybe doesn't have enough to stand on its own. I definitely don't think we needed it, but I think that's probably why it exists, is so that they could cram less stuff into these other kind of bigger ticket shows, arguably.
Yeah,
because Obi-Wan's not going to be an ongoing series, right? It's like kind of a one and done. So
I think it's a limited series. But
I mean, I just like that they brought a lot of Mandalorian characters back. And I definitely, what's the new bad guy's name? I'm sorry, I'm not a big Clone Wars fan, so please forgive me.
Cad Bane?
Yeah, there's no way that he's dead, right? I mean, he was way too cool for them to bring into this show and kill in a couple episodes. So
I think he's dead.
No, he was awesome.
I think he's dead. They clearly stabbed him right in the chest. I mean, could he have? So within universe, could he have saved him? Sure, he could have taken him back to the Bacta tank and had him enhanced by the mods. But
yeah, do that to him too. Yeah,
they could have put some kind of control inside him so that he does whatever Boba wants him to do.
But he was that was an awesome character. That was so cool, and I feel like that's kind of a waste if they kill him already. But there you go. I love how, again, I'm not going to turn this into a Book of Boba critique fest, but this Rancor gets blasted by these droids a bunch of times, and it's just whatever. And then that guy just uses his flamethrower once, and the Rancor's like, "Wah!" and like makes Boba drop off and then runs away. It's like, okay, like
Yeah.
that's all right. It's funny.
But that was neat, like, seeing a Rancor in live action, like, to
It
that
was
extent,
awesome.
like
Oh,
yeah, it was.
always been a huge Rancor fan myself. I love
I mean,
Wampa's rank. I love all the Star Wars beasts, but that's always been a big one for me. So seeing one leap around the Tatooine rooftops was awesome.
can you imagine, like, if they had done that HasLab, like, after this episode had aired, like, it would have been funded, like, no doubt.
Unfortunate timing for them, for sure, because I feel like it might maybe would have stood slightly better chance. But that thing failed for a variety of legit reasons. So
Yeah, it's still a mystery, and, people have asked, like, why did they do it so early? And
mm,
it's just a mystery. I mean, there was obviously, like, it accidentally slipped that that was the HasLab, so that could have been part of it. There was also the fact that, um, they had this season of the HasLabs, right, where they had these other ones going, and they wanted to get them all funded around the same time. Um, I think probably either Hasbro didn't know about the Rancor being in the show, or I mean, it's probably I think that's kind of what it was. I mean, Lucasfilm, is so secretive with a lot of things, and
mhm.
I feel like if Lucasfilm knew, they should have tipped off Hasbro to, hey,
I
maybe
bet it
hold
was.
on.
Yeah, I bet they didn't know. I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
the Rancor had anything accessory wise that even remotely brought into the show. The Rancor and Book of Boba Fett is a younger like species with it's definitely not as big. So I still think the timing would have helped, but I don't think it was ever like some sort of strategic imperative that they were connected, I guess.
sure. Paul says the tier choices hurt too, and that's totally a possibility too.
Yeah,
The way they handled it was just kind of strange.
right. From the outside looking in, as someone who was never going to back it, but watched it as it went on. um yeah, I mean, the tears were like a joke, and then they kind of did this about face, and I feel like that's always in kind of in bad form, where it's like, well, why didn't you just do this the first time? Like, don't come around here and don't turn around and try to act like you're doing me some big favor. Like, you're just doing this because your project sucked. So like, next time come with a better plan. You know don't try to go cheap and then backtrack and say like, we're going to make this right.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But maybe they'll come back and do one for Vintage Collection.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I'm quite happy with the last one they did. I if they never did another Rancor, I'd be completely happy with the one that I have. But they could obviously do one a lot better. I mean, better anyway.
I would take it. I mean, I have the power of the Force one, so my standards are pretty low. um, but I'm anxious to see what the next HasLab is for sure. Are there any rumors out there about what it is?
About the next HasLab,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe. I want to hear. If you're not at liberty to say, someone in the chat needs to say what they think the next one could be, because I'm totally in the dark. But I obviously funded the Razor Crest. That was my first HasLab. I didn't know. I didn't collect Star Wars as hardcore when the barge was out. I didn't have all of you enablers around me when the barge was out, so I missed out. But I regret not getting it. I mean, obviously, as a collector, that's how it is. You're like, well, I wish I would have got that, even though I have no room. I should have gotten that. Because I love the that whole scene in Jedi, so I miss it.
Yeah.
Sandcrawler. I hope it's not the Sandcrawler. I have a Disney Sandcrawler that's just fine.
Yeah,
So
that's right, you do. And I have the even smaller, like, Hasbro one from 2004, which is which is the exact same as the vintage mold. So it's not big
mhm.
at all, but for me, I'm pretty content with it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I'd love to have a bigger one, but
mine is huge. I mean, it's not huge, huge. It's not. It's gonna the Razor Crest is gonna dwarf it, but it's big enough that like, and it's kind of this big giant brown thing. So like, you put it on your shelf and you're like, there's my big giant brown thing. It's not like this cool ships with windows and all this stuff. So I don't need a bigger one. What's your hunch, Greg? Come on, spill it. What is it? I want to know.
Yeah, I just hope they keep building on the format, like the Book of Boba Fett, like Jabba's Palace thing. Book that, like I said in the Q&A yesterday, I told I was talking to Patrick and Emily. Emily's the designer for that set, and I was like, this thing is the kind of thing that collectors' wildest dreams are made of. And can you guys apply this if it succeeds to a cantina? Can you apply it to maybe the throne room from Return of the Jedi's Death Star? I'd love to see those. Like, I think
Blockade Runner, is that really your hunch, Greg? That would be insane. I love that ship too.
yeah, I mean, considering they gave us the hallways for that already, I don't know how that would work.
I mean, that would be bigger than the table I'm sitting at right now.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with like, these big ticket items are just difficult because they're hard to display, but they're also hard to store. Like once you're ready to put them, in the closet or whatever, and they just take up so much real estate. So if you put something big like that on display, like it's coming at the sacrifice of a bunch of other things.
Right.
So, I mean, I like the idea of the HasLabs, the Razor Crest, awesome. The barge, awesome. But, I'm ready for things that are maybe not necessarily like big HasLabs, maybe things that are a little more focused.
Yeah, that need that crowdfunding to succeed, but not necessarily because they're massive, but because they're sort of more niche. Yeah, I totally feel that.
Yeah, like Yoda's hut, like Greg says. I think that'd be a great one too.
Yeah, I love the throne room. It reminds me of, I got these little haunted mansion dioramas from Shop Disney.
Yeah, I remember.
And one of them is the attic, and it has all these little accessories, little stacks of books, little vases, little lamps, little coat racks, little stools, little teacups, like little tiny. It's like a little dollhouse in there. It comes with like 25 different miniature accessories. And that's like the first thing I thought of when I saw the throne room. I was like, man, this is awesome. Because that's really what makes those little toy play sets sing, is not just some, well painted plastic walls and base, kind of like what we have with the other Jabba set with for the wall with the carbonite. Like it's just basically like walls at the end of the day. But getting all those little accessories in is what really makes that stuff look lived in, which is cool. So not cool enough for me to buy it. I just don't have space for it. So I mean, I don't have space for anything. Let's just put it that way. But if I don't really love it, then I'm just not even going to lie to myself and say I'll make space for it. It's cool though. It is cool. And if it goes down in price, I'll be tempted.
Yeah, it's tight. I mean, this, it literally is something that you would never expect to be just a pre-order and has Repulse. Here, I'm just gonna show it. It's cool. I can't stop looking at it, honestly. It's just it's
I
so
love
good.
that indentations on the top too. That is really cool.
Yeah, the sculpting on it, right? It's very textured, it's very three-dimensional. The steps are like uneven, like the dais there. You could probably put Jabba on there, or you could put Boba Fett. You could put Bib Fortuna. I mean, there's options, and I think that's when toys are oftentimes at their best, is when you have plenty of options to use them however you want, whatever makes you happy. And like this is
I would buy a $230 mega accessorized Cantina is what I would. That's what I would do, because I have so many random aliens and things like that. I know that technically fits in the throne room as well, but that's kind of the setup that I would really want to invest in myself, is something like that. But yeah, look at all those pieces. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this is cool.
Pretty cool. Don't tempt me too much, because you buy these things, and like I said, a year later when it comes, the money's already gone. It's not even real money anymore. It's just money already spent. Right?
It's like you get bib, so yeah, super cool. I mean, look at that. That's tight.
Yeah, that's so cool. With the lighting on top filtering through too.
And what's cool too, and I know Hasbro obviously didn't plan this, but they showed the dimensions of this like in the live stream, and it's gonna fit 100% perfectly on these shelves that I have. So
nice.
Yeah, so I'm
that's always
ready
nice
for it. I'm ready for it. Let's have it. Let's have it.
Another good HasLab I was thinking of was some sort of like Hoth control room slash, you know, bunker hangar kind of deal
Sure.
they could do. That would be really cool.
True.
I also thought a good one that no one else would want but me is kind of like a remastered Ewok Tree Village. I would love that. I think that'd be cool.
I'd like that too.
That'd be a classic. I mean, that's like a classic playset from the vintage line that even me as a kid who didn't grow up in the 70s, like my cousins had that set and it was so awesome. It was such a cool playset.
Yeah.
And they used it again for the Robin Hood movie. Love it. Love
That's
Kenner.
true. They sure did. Some of the accessories too, I think were reused. Yeah, no, it's fun stuff. Those figures are great, Robin Hood. I know that would take us on another tangent, but those are fun too. I remember those are fun. I still have some, like brand new in the box. I bought them like a little while back.
Yes, the Ewok Tree Village. Totally. I would love that. Or the Battle Wagon, even. I'm just kidding. We don't have to do the Battle Wagon.
Well, so Tim, we are coming up on, or we are at the 2-hour mark. And the time flies. It doesn't even feel like it was 2 hours.
No.
But yeah. Do you have any final thoughts or anything else you want to talk about before we wrap?
No, I think we lost a lot of our Jurassic crowd, but obviously there's going to be a lot more Jurassic toys to talk about, so I'll have to come on here again here pretty soon. But tomorrow the Razor Crest arrives in my spaceport, so I'll be
getting mine up tomorrow too. So
I'll be getting excited, and I got my kids some Mission Fleet ships, so that when I order my Razor Crest, they won't be like, "Let me play with it." I'll be like, "No, go play with these."
The $40 one, yeah.
So yeah, I'm right now I'm stuck right between Jurassic and Star Wars, so tons of fun, always fun.
Hey, that's a good place to be stuck.
Yeah, exactly. It fluctuates, but I'm enjoying myself. I wish there was another Star Wars show to watch, though. I really do. They need to make it a little more, kind of relentless and not make me wait so long.
Totally. Well, super cool. Well, Tim, hey, it's been a blast as always.
Thank you always
for coming on and talking all manner of toys with me. And we talk about the Brachial repaint? We sure did.
That was an hour and a half ago. You were late.
That was a while ago. We talked about all kinds of things. It's been a crazy week for both Tim and myself, and we talked about all of it. So yeah, if you guys want to miss any part, once this live stream ends, it will be published to YouTube. You can always go back and check it out.
Flag it for copyright. Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
No. But yeah, so Tim, thanks again. And I'm sure anybody that's hanging around here obviously knows, but just in case, where can our stragglers go to look you up on the interwebs?
CollectJurassic.com, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and the newly reinstated Collect Jurassic Instagram. All great places to find me and follow along on all the exciting Jurassic toy news and updates.
There you go. Totally. And we will have links here in the show notes in the description. So certainly hit up Tim. And also thanks to everybody who's been hanging out with us. Some of you have been here since the beginning. So I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. No, thank you for being with us. We've enjoyed having you and reading your thoughts and comments. So it's been a lot of fun. And Tim, we'll do this again soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Victoria.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Good night.